Networking and marketing made simple is for you, the business owner who has a product, a service, or a message that you believe in. My name is Scott Aaron, and each week we'll take a behind-the-scenes look into the real-world marketing and networking tactics and strategies for getting what you have in front of you to a lot more people. Thanks for spending time with me, and now let's get started. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Networking and Marketing Made Simple. Super excited for today's episode. And before we jump in, just a little small announcement. And I haven't really put this out to the public yet. I'm going to be talking about it more in the coming weeks. But for those of you that are familiar with my very first book, the LinkedIn book for network marketing that came out in 2018. According to bookauthority.com, it's ranked the number one LinkedIn book of all time. It's my first bestseller. It was kind of like my launch pad, so to speak, for everything that I'm currently doing now, over 4.5 years later. But I'm very excited to announce that at the end of August, there's no official specific date yet, and I will confirm that later on when I talk to my formatter and editor. My brand new book it's called The LinkedIn Book for Sales and Marketing. And this book is obviously an updated version of my original, so there's a lot that's changed over the last 4 years, but it includes some new testimonials and client experiences, people that have doubled and tripled their investment. A client that actually brought in a $300,000 sale from what I taught them. So you're going to read all those stories and more. But also, there's a new chapter on LinkedIn updates in the last 4 years, and I really went back through the original book and started from scratch and really built out a beautiful, brand new, updated book for you guys. It's a little bit longer than the original. The original was 101 pages. This is going to be closer to probably about 115 pages. But again, there's takeaways from each chapter, and I really want people to walk away from reading this book to have an even more clear understanding of what needs to be done on LinkedIn. So in the coming weeks, I'm going to be dropping a link in the description of the episode where you can get on the wait list for the release date. And there's a 3-day giveaway. I'm going to be giving away a ton of prizes for those that purchase the book between specific dates that I'm going to announce. I'm going to be giving away products that I have. I'm going to give away coaching packages. I'm going to be giving away headphones, Beats by Dre headphones, Amazon gift cards. There's going to be a ton of stuff given out to those that buy and support the book. So just be on the lookout for that in the coming weeks, and really, really excited. And again, it's called The LinkedIn Book for Sales and Marketing. So let's dive into today's episode, which I actually spoke about this last week. And I wanted to really dive more deeply into the best ways to network on LinkedIn that will end up increasing your income in the long term. And again, LinkedIn, as I've talked about before, it's the long game. Now, networking with others, above all else, is the lifeline of our business. It's been a vital part of my business, Nancy's business, the businesses that we own together for years, and it will continue to be. I mean, it's in the forefront of what we need to do to move our business forward. But I always wonder why so many people still shy away from networking with others to form those meaningful connections. The spray and pray methodologies, the posting and praying. Too many people are still relying on front-facing sales, right? So just posting something and hoping someone buys it, or just pitching to their networks all day long, thinking that that's the way to increase their company and business's income, which couldn't be further from the truth. I always tell people to think about how they would feel if no one really cared about forming a meaningful connection with them, and those that they connect with are just pitching and selling to them all day long. How would that make you feel? Not too good. So the age of, again, spraying and praying to get sales, it's way behind us. It's That's 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. And yes, it was working back then, but not even that great. Thinking that that is the way to grow your business couldn't be further from the truth now moving into the future. The more that you network and build those meaningful connections, the more opportunities you will have to increase your business and company's income. So here are the 3 ways that I would like you to network on LinkedIn that over time will increase your income. So number 1 is connect with podcast hosts to see if they're looking for guests of your caliber. So I launched this podcast back in November of 2018, and we are rapidly approaching 200,000 downloads, which I am so incredibly grateful for. And it's helped my business tremendously. And part of what Nancy and I teach in our Expert Authority Mastermind is how to create and launch your own podcast, obviously to build those things. And just as a small little tidbit, we will be opening the doors one last time to our high-level mastermind at the end of September. So just look for future announcements about that. So if you're someone that's listening to this that wants to write their own book, you want to release that podcast, you want to really be the expert in your space, be on the lookout because we're going to be opening those doors to 10 individuals at the end of September. Now, LinkedIn can be that place. So having great guests on this podcast, as you've been listening to, has also allowed me in turn to be a guest on their podcast. We call those pod swaps, which has given me a lot of organic exposure to many new networks that I wouldn't be able to if it wasn't for me going on their podcast. LinkedIn is a great place to find and connect with podcast hosts. So it doesn't matter what niche you may be in. You can do a specific search for that category of podcast, and there will absolutely be people there to connect with. So let me give you an example. Say you own a health and wellness type business. You could do a search one time a week in the search engine on LinkedIn and just type in health and wellness, podcast host. When you hit search and obviously filter by second connections, as I always talk about, this will leave you a ton of connections of those that you can connect with that have a health and wellness based podcast. And you can connect with them. And then if they accept, you can then write them a nice little message, hey, so-and-so, I noticed that you had a health and wellness based podcast and I've been in that space for the last 20 years. Would you be open to hopping on a call to see if I could be a good fit for your podcast? So that in itself, just that tip will get you more opportunities to be a guest on others' podcasts, will inevitably grow your exposure with other networks, which will then grow your business. Now, the second thing is going back to things that I've talked about prior, provide value-added content or polls in groups that you're in to really connect with those people better on LinkedIn. So as the saying goes, like always attracts like. So if you've not done so already, you want to make sure that you join some groups. And I always suggest to join 2 or 3. You don't want to go over that, where you have some sort of relatable business connection to. So it could be, for me, I'm in podcasting groups. I'm in business coaching groups. When you get accepted into those groups, make sure at least once per week you post some sort of relatable poll that's asking that specific audience a question, or a relatable piece of content, a how-to or list post that builds rapport and trust within that community because you want to be seen. But also, if you write good content within that group, people will click on you, they will go to your profile, they will connect with you, and you can start forming that connection and relationship. Now, the third and final thing is always reach out to your connections with the intention to collaborate and network first instead of trying to sell and pitch them. So I've mentioned this so many times before. No person likes being sold to. One of the most impactful ways that Nancy and I have been able to grow and scale our company the way that we have over the last 4 years is through developing and nurturing meaningful connection. When you are building your network of connections on LinkedIn, do not message people and speak to them with the intention of just trying to squeeze in a sales pitch with something that you have to offer. What you want to do is you want to reach out to them with the intention of how you can help one another. I call this scratching each other's backs. Reach out to them with the genuine and authentic intention of how you can collaborate with one another. Reach out to them with the intention of how you can support each other's businesses. When you have that collaborating and supportive and intention behind everything that you do, and that's in mind first and foremost when you're messaging those in your network, you will be 100% amazed at not only how far those relationships go, but how much your business will grow as a result of those true, genuine, and authentic connections. So again, the 3 things that you want to do on LinkedIn to build your income and business over time is number 1, connect with podcast hosts to see if they're looking for guests within the niche that you are obviously a part of. Second thing, provide value-added content or a poll question in groups that you're in to form better relationships. And third and final, reach out to your connections with the intention to collaborate and network instead of trying to sell. So everyone, I hope you found today's episode helpful. Please enjoy the rest of your days, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much again for checking out today's episode. And if you are listening through iTunes, Spotify, wherever you are, please leave me a rating and review. Let me know what you loved, what you would like to see improved, or ideas you have for future episodes. And if you are interested in taking your business to the next level, don't hesitate to go to my website, www.scottaaron.net, where you can schedule a free discovery call with me, where I can learn more about you, your business, what you're struggling with, and how we can work together. And don't forget to check out my wife, Nancy, and mine, our free community on Facebook called LinkedIn Leads for Life. We would love to see you in there. Have a great rest of your day. And thank you everyone for your support. Grateful for each and every one of you.